disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts movies and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley and Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
It's so good to be back.
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Center Network. On Tuesdays, you have CTE with Chris, Los, and Travis. Wednesdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Joe, Angel, and Mike. And on Thursdays, you can get the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. For more information, check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Center Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Fellas, it's showtime. What's up?
What's going on?
What's up?
How was your weekend?
Weekend was nice, man. It's this week's getting started that's killing me.
we gonna get into that in just a second. Go ahead, Angel. What's up now?
No, I was just saying that sucks that when your week starts off and you don't like it. That sucks. My weekend, I mean, for most people that know, my weekend was very eventful. Just got off a pro point. It was a good experience, man. Not the outcome I wanted, but it's a growing experience. I'm young. I'm just getting my name out there. And like I said before, everybody's going to put respect on my name. I think people know now I come to bang. So it was a good experience overall.
So Angel, he competed in this organization called Pro Point. So that was your first time competing in Pro Point?
Yeah, it's my first professional fight, man. It was awesome.
Okay, so you've done Pro Point and you've done Virtual Fight Tour, right?
Yeah, done Virtual Fight Tour. I've done Virtual Fight Tour twice. And then Pro Point, that was my first time. Okay.
Let me ask you, before COVID, how often did you fight on the weekends? Did you fight every weekend or every other weekend? How often did you compete?
So I'm going to be honest with you guys. The reason why no one really knew about me was because I didn't really compete. And it's not for the sake I didn't want to. It's just timing wise, when tournaments are up here in the Northeast, excuse me. It's kind of tough to get out there. Over here, we compete on Sundays. We don't compete on Saturdays or Fridays, so it gets kind of hard.
Really? Is there a reason for that?
Yeah. So honestly, the real reason is in the Northeast, they don't believe in shutting down their school and losing money on a Saturday for a tournament. They much rather keep the school open on Friday and Saturday, make their money, and on Sunday you have a tournament.
Okay.
So that's how we do it up here in the Northeast. That's pretty much like the standard. And if you go anywhere from like, I want to say like Maryland, sometimes Maryland does Saturday tournaments, but from Maryland on up, it's all Sunday tournaments. You don't do a Saturday tournament. So I didn't compete that often. And then once COVID hit, man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Once COVID hit, I had like this thing. I always say I'm thankful for just CTE and the Martial Arts Internet Network in general, because it really gave me a platform to grow. I got my name on there a couple times for winning tournaments. And then after that, man, I kind of just told myself, like, I'm tired of taking a back seat to a lot of these guys that are out here. I'm better than them. Like, I know I'm better than them. They have experience over me, which that's with anything, just because they've been out there fighting longer. But if we're going to go skill wise, athleticism, the whole 9 yards, like, I'm a better fighter. So I told myself I need to start taking it more serious. If this is what I want to do, I got to make it. This is what I want to do. So Jesse Ray, man, all props to VFT and Jesse Ray. He gave me my first shot. He let me get out there. He gave me like 2 weeks notice, and it was like a really late fight. He just needed me to step in. But like I tell everybody, I think I could win any fight. So I stepped in. That was kind of where, Gene, you remember that? That was kind of where I had like the comeback heard around the world. I was down like 17, like going into the third round. And I ended up tying the score in 1 minute and 30 seconds. And then we ended up losing by like 5, if that. So from there, I just kept plucking away. Then your uncle, Coach Plowden, he was lucky enough to take me under the wing. I had a good outing there. Then we did Starcade. We just keep the ball rolling. So, hey, man, honestly, I felt like on Pro Point, I had something to prove. I think people didn't know who I was, and people heard about me competing about all throughout this year. And I felt like I had something to really prove, and I showed, man. Like I could hang with these dudes no matter who they are. And like I tell everybody, I tell my students, they were a little sad today when I had to tell them I didn't win, which I love that. But I tell everybody, I said, sometimes you're the hammer and sometimes you're the nail. The past few events, I've been the hammer. So it happens like that.
Yeah, that's no problem, man. You're still young too, man. You still at the beginning of your career. You're only 23.
Yeah, only 23.
So
and I gotta say, man, after that event, I got pulled over by a lot of good people, a lot of big names in the sport, a lot of champions, some of them that are on our network with Main Gang, and they let me know, man, like you have it, like you have it. You're scratching the surface. Just whatever you're doing, keep doing it. It's just a growing experience. So that made me feel good after the fight. You know, there's a difference between winning a fight and getting your ass kicked, and then losing a fight, but you were banging. And like I said, you have to kill me. So
that's all right, man. All right, well, keep it up, man. Like you said, you're Boogie, man. Like I said, I can't say your name,
Bugs.
man. Yeah, I'm gonna call you Bugs. That's what I'm gonna call you. That's my new name for you.
Joe, hook me up with it one time. Joe, hook me up one time.
El Kukui.
Yeah, I can't say it. I cannot say that for nothing.
We're gonna get you on there, Gene.
I've been practicing all week. I can't do it.
You can do it.
Hey, real quick.
Gotta get you on Babel or something.
Hey, real quick, just to make sure I know, how much time we got, Gene?
We got a little bit. I got about 30, 40 minutes before I.
All right, cool. Just to make sure.
Joe, let me ask you. I was thinking about this. When you and your brother started training with us, did you guys come to the 7 Mile location, or did you guys show up on Grand River?
Grand River.
Okay. So you guys started before Mike Gibbs.
Yeah, we. You know what? Mike might tell the story a little better, but my dad is actually the one who got Mike kind of over there and raised an eyebrow to your uncle. Your uncle actually was going to put his pants on one day and take it to Mike a little bit. Because Mike, you know, as we all know, Mike is a little bit of a hardhead, man. So your uncle was talking about he was going to go put some pads on and go beat up Mike. But Mike was winning. Mike was winning the heavyweight division pretty consistently. And my dad kind of pointed that out to Sensei Richard. And Sensei Richard had to take a look and say, you know what? You're right. He is winning. And, I mean, the rest is kind of history from there. Mike was able to, you know, kind of break that barrier and become a part of Team Plowden. And then he got even better and was winning more and more. So that whole thing. But yeah, he was, I think he was about a month or so behind my brother and I joined him.
Really? Just that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
maybe
it was
a month.
I thought it was bigger than that because I remember sparring you and I remember sparring your brother in class, you know, on Friday nights. But I have no recollection of me ever sparring Mike at all, ever.
I mean, I'm thinking it was a couple months after Greg and I, but it could have been longer. But Greg and I used to always show up when we were still with Four Seasons. We used to show up, you know, every Friday outside of that and get beat up.
Go ahead,
just keep coming back.
So,
Go ahead,
so this could be a good thing or a bad thing. Mike, don't get mad when I say this, but maybe Mike wasn't memorable for you to remember that. So
I'm not saying that.
Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not saying that.
You trying to say he wasn't memorable?
Nah.
Mike is memorable. Trust me.
That's tough.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Like, I really just have no recollection of ever fighting Mike, like sparring. Like, I know we never competed in the tournament. I don't know how that's possible, but we've never. I know as kids we never fought because he was always. Mike is a year or so older than me. And Mike was bigger than me. I was a little guy. So, you know, him and James Garnett, they were in the tall division. They separated our ages from tall to short. So me and Ski were in the shorter division and they were in the taller division. So I know as kids we never fought. But when he came to the school and started training with us, like I have no memory of ever working out with Mike. He was there. He would come in, but I for whatever reason, I can't ever remember ever fighting him. But I saw
a video of Mike.
I was reminiscent about that as I was watching our movie or our show for this week, Cobra Kai season 3. And I was just thinking a lot about my past being in martial arts. And I got to say, man, like we were really, really close to being similar to Cobra Kai.
No wonder why you like them. No wonder why you like them.
As far as Team Plowden. I mean, we weren't bullies. We weren't bullies. But I remember one time, Ski and I, we were in the locker room changing at a tournament. And this kid says, he was worried. He was talking to his dad, and he said, Ski is here. I don't know, if I want to compete. I don't know if I want to fight him. And his dad was like, there's nothing wrong. We ain't scared. Listen to him. They can't see us. We're on the other side of the locker. So this guy, the dad tells him, the son, like, don't worry about Ski. He puts on his pants one leg at a time, just like you. And Ski and I looked around the corner of the locker, and we saw the kid looking at us. Ski had his karate pants out. He jumped up and put his legs into the pants and then pulled his pants up. And we started laughing. The kid had such a horrific look on his face. He had such a horrific look on his face.
So cold.
That is something Ski would do. That is totally something Ski would do. I love that. Oh my God.
That's so cold, yo. That's so cold.
So when I'm watching this, I'm like, Cobra Kai, they're kind of like assholes. And there are times where I've been an asshole. I was never a bully.
Man, listen.
And there's some other members of my team that grew up with me.
That makes Ski smart, because that's some Muhammad Ali stuff right there. Messing with their mind. That dad was probably like, damn it.
Yo, that is so cold. On a different level, you have no idea of how cold that is, man.
And I'm quite sure the director of the Martial Arts Inner Network has done some things in tournaments or in the karate school.
I always felt like, listen, I watched the videos. I watched videos of the director. Yo, the director was like a dog in the ring, and not like a dog in terms of like mentality, like I'm trying to beat you. Like a dog, like he started barking at you and started like grilling you. And I'll never forget, there was one fight, his belt was coming off. He like took his belt off and just threw it and was like, got back. I was like, God damn, man, you better chill out. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I got a few stories about the director, but I ain't gonna say it right now.
I am a very nice gentleman. I was always cordial with everyone I fought. And that was just it. So.
Director,
let me ask you. I just want to know the director. I just wonder, I remember there was a time where I was helping teach the gold belt class, and there was I didn't even say anything yet. How am I lying when I haven't said anything yet?
Stop lying.
I just remember us being in class, and there were some kids that might have been about 5 or 6 years old, gold belts. And somebody accidentally swept the kid when they were trying to teach him how to do a side kick. It wasn't me, but I was there and I saw it.
And he said, "Stop lying." He did it
accidentally.
Hey, let me.
So I know somebody else that can back me up on that. So.
So all right, if we're gonna say that, I will say
it's all hearsay.
Listen, director, you don't gotta backpedal. Listen, I tell my students, if you don't make a good front stance, you will fall. And they go, okay. And the following is, I'll sweep your front leg out if you're not bending your knee, because that means you're not in a stable position. It's all right, director. Listen, I saw you, director. You would sit there and start barking at people like, you don't want none of this.
Bugs. Would you do that to a kid that's practicing their sidekick?
Oh,
so they're only standing on one leg.
They're on one leg.
They're only standing on one leg, and they're 5 years old.
They got to learn somehow.
On one leg? Oh, that's a bit. That's tough, man. That's tough.
It didn't happen.
Wow. Okay.
It didn't happen.
Well, like I said, so I can kind of relate a little bit to Cobra Kai just because of my history and martial arts and my group of people that I was with.
Our poor director was crease out here, man. I couldn't deal with him. This man, our poor director was crease out here. He was making these kids learn, man, if you don't bend that supported knee on a side kick, I'm going to sweep your leg out.
Let's jump into the show, guys. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, Cobra Kai Season 3. Okay, so, we're not going to do this like how we do other movie reviews because it's just too much information, and we only have an hour. We don't have enough time to get through every single part of the show. So we're just gonna talk about the most important topics that we saw. Okay, so it starts off almost immediately after season 2 ends, and everybody's feeling bad about Miguel, and I feel bad. I feel bad for him also. And then we see Johnny, and Johnny really, he just, man, he's
let
somebody.
Himself go.
He should go to. I think that he should go to Alcoholics Anonymous. That's what he needs to go to.
That's
honestly.
never going to happen.
I mean, just seriously, like anytime there's a problem, he runs to the bottle. That's the first thing that he does. We saw that in season 2. Also, we saw it in season 1. Anytime there's a serious issue that he doesn't want to deal with something, he goes to drinking. Mm-hmm. And, he gets messed up. He's in a restaurant / bar, and he gets into a fight with a couple of guys, and he's so drunk that he gets beat up in the parking lot. Yeah. Did you guys have any type of sympathy for him?
I mean, at this point,
I guess that's a no.
At this point, I do. No. I actually do, because, I mean, at this point, he's at his low. He's lower than he's been in a while. He was coming from a high point, and now he's low because, I mean, he's kind of losing everything all over again. He doesn't have a relationship with his son.
Right.
He's lost his karate school, and now his top student, who he's created this parent-like bond with, is injured, and he wasn't there for him. So of course, I feel bad for him 100%.
I don't feel bad in that particular instance of him going to the bottle, but as we keep talking, as the show progresses, you get to see more of like the softer side of him. You get to see how he really feels about certain topics with certain people that come back and certain people that are there in his life. And I feel bad in that sense because I feel like he just doesn't have no one to talk to. And part of that is because there's no one there for him that he feels like he could trust. But then another part of it is he pushes people away. When he feels himself get close, then he wants to push away. He wants to keep distance. So I feel that part for him.
And what about Sam? Even though she beat up Tori in season 2, she still has some type of mental effects from that fight. She's having panic attacks. Even when she went back to school for the first time,
she didn't want to be around people.
Yeah, she was worried about people talking about her. It was bothering her.
They were talking about her.
They were.
Yeah.
And she got the scar. She keeps looking at the scar throughout the season.
It's funny. It seems like at one point in time she got brave, but then when they had that fight next to the golfing stuff, and she heard Tori's voice, and all of that anxiety that she had, it just came rushing back to her. I like how they did that. They did not make her, all of a sudden feel brave and big and bad, like she could do whatever. They showed her, like, honestly being scared. And we really don't see that type of stuff in movies too often. I mean, unless it's a horror movie, but no type of action movie do we ever see a hero have fear and running away. Like it was at the last episode when the fight happened at the house, when Tori confronted Sam turned around and ran. Originally, when I first saw it, I thought she was going to turn around and do a jump spin, a hook kick, or a jump back kick or something. But no, she ran out of the house into the dojo area of the house. And I like that. I like seeing them play up on that.
Do you think she was more afraid of Tori in general, or everything that Tori kind of brought down? Because Tori is technically the one that started that brawl, and then all the events leading that come away from that brawl. I mean, I'm feeling like she almost put that on Tori because, Tori's the one that started it. Then everyone was fighting both sides. The whole thing came to a head in a boil, and then Miguel got hurt. So she's kind of seeing all that come, because they showed flashbacks of not just her and Tori fighting, but of everything that happened throughout the brawl.
I think she was just scared of Tori, honestly.
Really?
Okay. I think she was scared of Tori because this girl wasn't going away. And, she's tough. She's a tough girl, and
well, she comes from a tougher place.
Yeah, and this is something that Sam never had to deal with in her life, ever. And before these things ever happened, I really doubt that she has ever had a fight. It seemed like she had a very happy, safe, childhood. And this seems like this was the first fight and altercation that she's ever had. And she got hurt. She has the scars on her arm.
Yeah.
I mean, well, think about the way how think about how Daniel tried to raise her. Like Daniel tried to raise. I feel like Daniel, because he fought life or death, he is at a point that he's like, I don't want my kids to go through those same experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to learn the art to protect themselves, but I don't want them to have to. I don't want to say actually use it, but not use it in that sense. You know what I mean? So I think for her, it was just a shock to a system. And, we all know, we all have students. It's like anything else. When they get into their first little altercation, it's like you don't know whether it's okay to hit or not hit because you're always taught to use it, but not use it, but only use it in self-defense. And, that could have crept up on her. I really like how the show, like how you said, Gene, how the show showed the psychological part of it, like the fear of coming back. That you never see that. You always just see that happen, and then the hero is right back in the mix, and they're fighting for their life, and they're doing everything all over again. And you don't get to see like what steps does it take to get back there. And I feel like the show did a really good job at showing that.
Yeah, I think the show showed a lot more psychological stuff than almost physical stuff because we see it with Daniel, we see it with Robbie. Everybody, Kreese in the flashbacks, everybody has some type of issues, that they're dealing with. After Sam, let's go to Miguel now.
You know what? Actually, and now we're gonna go to Miguel. This is good. You know what? I just thought about this right now. You know what the show touched? You know what this season really touched on a lot, and we could connect this all throughout this show. Mm-hmm. The mental health side of things.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think this season really showed the effects of the mental health side of what this rivalry is taking on everyone. I think that's what it showed. Because we'll talk more about Johnny's son and all that stuff.
Yeah, Miguel. So we see Miguel, he's unconscious when we first see him. But we see him when he's thinking or he's dreaming. He's competing and he's trying to win.
Yeah, he's got his own struggle with inside him.
Yeah. So, he was when Johnny was talking to him, because Johnny had to sneak in a couple times. We're gonna get to that part also. But when Johnny snuck in, like you saw Miguel starting to win the fight in his head as Johnny was talking to him. And then when Johnny left, he wasn't doing so hot. Or when Johnny wasn't there, he was losing the battle. But this kid showed some range also when it came to acting, because, he was in the bed. And that conversation that him and Johnny had when he was in the hospital, like you saw like the disappointment in himself. He had disappointment in Johnny because he said, like, I did everything that you told me and, look at me. And Johnny couldn't say anything back, to him,
Both sides are learning, Johnny's learning how to be a good mentor and Miguel's, learning how to be a better student and have confidence in himself and everything. So, yeah, at first he was taking everything Johnny was saying and he thought he wanted to be like Johnny. But now he's got to learn, I got to take the lessons and make them my own.
Yeah. Anything, books?
I think, I don't want to skip ahead too much, but I really liked you get to see the relationship outside of karate with Miguel and Johnny. And I think we get to, not to spoil it, obviously we're going to, but not to get too far ahead, but I think we see that when Miguel is helping Johnny talk to a certain person. And you got to see kind of the roles flip. And I like seeing that dynamic between them. I think it shows something really good between teacher and student. And then, Johnny's over here, giving it to his mom, so that makes it different. That plays.
When they finally get to that part, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be interesting because I don't know how Miguel is going to take to that. I don't know if he's going to be cool with it or not. You know, especially because in this season, you know, he's trying to help Johnny with Allie.
Exactly.
You know?
Thank you. And Johnny's over here trying to tell him, like, listen, man, I'm smacking some other cheeks. I don't need this. I'm good. Like,
I don't know, man. I think he was thinking about both of them. You know.
Listen, do not get me started on Allie this season because I have a bunch to say about her.
We gonna get to her. We gonna get to her definitely.
She is a player, man. Cannot take her.
You know who I did like in this out of the females? I really liked Daniel's wife Amanda because she had parts where she just lost it, and I like that. You know,
yeah. You got to see her independence.
Like,
she's at her breaking point, man. Everybody has a breaking point.
Yeah.
You got to see her independence. I like that.
And she, I like when she had, when her and Daniel were going into the school to have, I guess it was like the school board. They were going to talk with the school board. And she was like in the hallway, you know, and she was just livid, you know, that Sam had got suspended, that Tori, you know, she was just pissed with the whole situation. Mm-hmm. And I liked how she was just showing that aggression. Even with Kreese, you know, she went right up to the dojo. Like I would have had a problem if my wife did that though. You know, you don't go into, you know, without me to some other dude. Like, no, hell no. You don't do nothing like that.
Yeah, you don't know what can happen. That man got so many issues. He don't care about who you are. He'll still put some hands. Don't do that.
She didn't know that because remember in season 2, like, you know, she even told Daniel, like, you know, a geriatric karate instructor, you know, like she was not worried about. She did not know how sick Kreese is in the head. She didn't know that.
But do we know if she does karate at all? Because I would like to see if she knows something.
I don't think she looks like she knows something. She looks like she got some. She reminds me of I think she learned from this dude Thug Jitsu. I think she knows some of that.
But I'm saying not the character. Like they talk about her and Daniel sometime rolling on the mat, but they never say that he actually trained her at all.
I think
you know what rolling on the mat is.
Yeah,
I know what it is, but I'm saying like
I think that
outside of that,
I think every man that's been in martial arts has tried to teach his woman something, and it's been time. You come on, let's work out, let's train. And I think that, you know, what she spoke on in season 2, I think it was just like that. You know, we've worked out a couple times, and you know, maybe it led to other things. I could see that happening. All right. But, you know, like I said, she went into Cobra Kai. She slapped the hell out of Kreese. That was wild, bro. The fact that she even put her hands on him, that was completely wild. Because how do you know that man wouldn't have just hit you with a heart-stopping palm strike, like, right? And just
he liked it.
Kill you.
He was like,
that's because he's sick. He's sick.
He's messed up.
That man likes that BDSM. That's probably why.
And what did he do? He played the victim. He turned around and he went to the police.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Restraining order.
Had to put the police put a restraining order on her. You know, and that was hilarious. Just you know, I can't think of her name, but the actress that plays her, she does a good job, a real good job.
Yeah, she does. No, she does. She definitely does a great job.
Even in this, when they had the meeting with the city council about the
that was awesome. That was awesome.
The way she jumped up when Kreese spoke on her daughter, she jumped up and yelled at him, and man, that was all funny to me. I like that. I like seeing that.
Well, the whole thing was hilarious.
And Daniel looked so surprised. You know, he turned around and looked at her.
So you like
he's usually the one being crazy. He's usually the one making a scene.
So you like when your woman does that, Gene. You want her to get out there and be like, nah.
That's not my woman. That's not my woman.
I got you. You good.
I would like to see somebody else's woman acting out like that. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to laugh. I'm a prankster, man. I'm a prankster, and I know that about myself. And I'm an instigator, and I know that about myself. You know,
you and the director, y'all drink the same haterade. Yeah, you guys find Eddie. If someone leaves this much space for a conspiracy, you're all up in that. Like, I'm gonna be in this. Yeah, I know.
Let's talk about Kreese. Since we've been on Kreese, let's talk about Kreese. So we got a little backstory about him. So this is something that we've never ever heard of or known. You know, we got small glimpses, or we heard of small glimpses of his past in the Army, in the third Karate Kid movie. But now this show, they gave us a backstory on him. And we also saw that just like Johnny, like we never ever thought of Johnny or John Kreese ever have been bullied when they were younger.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I like with Cobra Kai how they show everybody. You know, Johnny at one point was bullied early on. Now Kreese, to me, to show them kind of go another way with it was interesting to me because, I mean, usually people that get bullied don't grow up to be bullies.
It depends. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I think a lot of people become bullies when they're older. If they were an asshole when they was little, they're gonna be an asshole when they were adults. Also, there are a lot of people. I know a lot of people that's like that. You know, who I did not like as kids, and I don't like them as adults.
Yeah, I'm saying, but like usually, if you get bullied pretty bad,
depends on
you can come out of it being real, real meek and timid, or you get like a hard exterior, but you learn how to rise above it. I mean, I guess is the way I would think about it.
Or you become an asshole like Daniel.
Daniel's not an asshole.
You don't gotta go there. There's no need for you to even go there. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. You always want to find a way to throw it in there. You didn't have to do that. I saw you, and I'm sitting here saying he's gonna talk something. I'm just waiting for it. Yo, like Jesus Christ.
I hear you, Joe. I hear you. I hear what you said, Joe. I hear what you said. I got you. I hear you.
It's so annoying, bro. I swear.
Daniel's not a bully.
You get me so bad.
But Daniel is very arrogant, and he acts like he knows more than anyone else, especially when somebody tries to tell him something. And, you know, he'll say, well, I know plenty of guys. It's like, no, guy, come on. Stop bitching so much. Just stop. You know?
He's lived a lot, man. He's been through it.
Sometimes he comes off as like a spoiled kid. Sometimes he comes off as like a spoiled brat. Like I'll give you that. Sometimes he does.
But then I did like how he was trying to save his business. So I guess one of his I did not take notes.
Do you think his business should have been affected so harshly through all this?
No, not at all.
I think that was a little out of line to me.
I feel, but this is so this is tough, right? It's like it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope because let's say if one of us as like karate instructors, we get into some shit in a community, in a school, whatever. People are we get a bad reputation, our business may suffer. Like that's just the name. That's just how people are nowadays. Cancel culture, everything. Like that's just what we're in. And I feel like
Cobra Kai didn't get canceled. Only Miyagi got canceled. Cobra Kai with a worse instructor got canceled. Johnny, I guess, technically got canceled.
Yeah, but it's the worst. But it's the way you're presenting the story. Kreese knows how to present a story extremely well. We look at it and we're going, oh, well, we know who the real bad guy is. As we see, Kreese was when they did the thing with City Hall. Kreese is over here talking, and he points out how Daniel's wife is yelling at him, and he has a restraining order against her. He presented the story very well, and once you present the story a certain way, you're only going to see it that way.
Okay, but why don't we go back to Kreese choking a student in the parking lot and say, this guy shouldn't even be around children?
The people, when he did that, those people are dead already. They're not living. They don't.
They dead. They get a bit older. They not dead.
People are dead already. We have hit at least 3 generations of kids that have moved on since then. To them, they're gonna look and go, Well, I mean, you should have won. Maybe that's what you deserve. We're also talking about the same guy. We're also talking about the same guy who is having kids come in to his school. I never see someone on a trial class have a kid do sparring and then get his ass whooped and then kick him out the school. How you do that on a trial class?
You
That's
know what?
the craziest thing to me.
That's how they roll. That's the other thing. When in any day and age, maybe in the 80s or something, but not nowadays, are you going to see a grown-ass man like John Kreese walking through a school to find new recruits?
Like it's nothing.
What the hell was that? Tell me about that.
They didn't screen him. He didn't go through the. And you know what's crazy?
That's what I'm saying. He didn't have a visitor pass or nothing.
And you know what's
just
crazy
walking
about
around.
That? And you know what's crazy about that? If you look when Sam went back to school, you have to go through metal detectors.
Yeah.
So it's like he had to go through something. He had to go through it. So it's, you know what, man? He was on that hall monitor wave. He had the hall monitor boys with him.
Something.
Yeah, I mean, he could have easily said that he was a parent and waiting on his kid, or a grandparent, I should say.
Yeah, I don't think it works like that nowadays. I'm a teacher. It don't work that way nowadays.
No,
that was the 80s.
At the elementary school right now, there's a camera. I got to push a button. Someone has to let me in. I have to go to the office. People who either know me or have to, I'm here for this. Then you get a pass if you're here to stick around for a minute. Or, they call your kid. They don't just say, yeah, go ahead and walk around.
Gotcha. Well, let me ask you guys this. What did you guys think of John Kreese's backstory? We saw him get bullied as a waiter. Did you guys know that was his son in real life? The guy,
no,
the kid that did the bullying, the football player.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's his son in real life. And we see him get bullied by that guy. Only a little bit. Like, he wasn't a punk like Daniel. Like, later on, he decided to fight the guy in the parking lot and beat him up because he was, being. I see you, Bugs. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're annoying, bro. I swear to you. Like,
even when that guy, that bully, was being rough with his girlfriend, he stepped in like Daniel did at the party in the first Karate Kid movie, and he defended her honor and he beat those guys up. So he wasn't no punk, and he has said like he's been fighting all of his life. So
was he right or was he wrong?
I think he was right.
Joe, go ahead, bro. I can't with this man. I can't with this man.
It's always a double standard.
How was the double standard?
It's a double standard.
And then you're gonna sit here and say he was right.
Didn't that guy? Hold on. Didn't that guy hit the girl?
Okay.
Yes or no? Okay.
Yeah. Did he hit the girl?
Yeah.
Johnny broke her boombox.
And the boombox is not the girl. Johnny did not put it. Johnny did not put his hand. Johnny did not put his hand on Allie. There was no reason for Daniel to step in on that.
Did you know if you were to do that nowadays? If you do that nowadays, do you know what happens? You get a police report written up on you. If you break someone else's property, and especially if you guys are together, it becomes a domestic dispute. Did you know that? Oh.
That's beside the point. That's beside the point. That's beside the point. That's still. I
don't remember us ever saying that it was right of Daniel. I said I'm not going to get punked. I would have done the same thing.
No, Bugs just said that. He
That's
just said
all I'm saying.
I'm saying
he stood up for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
You are sitting here. You are sitting here saying you were clowning Daniel. The fact that he stood up. And he said something, and then he had to, this and that. Now, Kreese does it. You're like, yeah, it's fine, no problem.
No, it's a difference. This guy, Kreese, the bully, he assaulted the girl, didn't he? Hold on.
If he did assault the girl, of course, 100% step in. But he should step in before the girl gets assaulted, not after.
Why did he watch her get slapped in the face and then say, all right, now I'm going to do something? You obviously
garbage or something. Wasn't he like taking out the garbage or something? And then he saw he wasn't following them. He wasn't having a conversation with the girl. It wasn't anything like that. It was. You can't compare that situation to Daniel's.
You can hear the tone. You can hear the tone of the voice. You can hear the tone of the voice when something's about to go down. That's like I'm with some girl. Some guy starts yelling at her, and I'm like, I think he's about to hit her. you know what? Let me just wait and see if he actually hits her, just to be sure, because they might know each other. Then he hits her, and then I step in. No.
Yes, like you will mess around. I mean, and it's kind of dangerous out. You just cannot just jump into a situation with somebody. You are liable to get shot. You're liable to get shot by the girl also. You just might not get shot by the guy. You could get shot by the girl also. Sometimes some of these women don't want to be saved. So it's a real sticky situation.
So you want me to sit there and just watch her get her ass beat?
I'm not saying that.
Oh, man.
That's on you what you do.
Man.
It depends on the situation. Also,
and then we gotta have that conversation on the way back. Like, why'd you get punched in the face?
Let me say, Bugs. Hold on. Also, another difference between this situation, they were behind the restaurant or in the alley or a parking lot or whatever.
It was like an alley. It was like a parking lot alley.
Nobody else was there. It was just Crease, the girl, the bully, and the bully's friend. That was it. When Johnny and Daniel were on the beach, there were a lot of other kids with them. So any of them other kids who knew Allie could have stepped in. Any of the Cobra Kai guys or the guys that were with Daniel could have stepped in. They all knew Allie, you know?
You want the Cobra Kai guys to step in. All right, you know what? Let's just watch this.
It's no way.
Let's watch this.
You know what?
No. We're watching this.
Yeah, you can watch it, but we still got to talk. We're on the podcast. So it can't be dead.
I'm sorry. I'm just getting upset. I'm just getting
That'd be driving me crazy on CTA. I ain't going to lie. That'd be driving me crazy on CTE. CTE, sometimes they be watching stuff, and I can't see it because I'm listening to them on the podcast. But like, what's going on, you know?
He did hit her.
Ooh, shots fired. Bang, 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 bang.
So, yeah, he hit her. So, like, okay, he got it. You know, it's okay to step in at this point in time. She obviously is looking hurt and upset. Okay, and then he starts talking crap to him. So, and then he comes at him. So, hey, man, there's nothing wrong.
At this point, he's defending himself. So, it's a non-issue.
That seems familiar when someone takes a sidekick.
Hey,
oh,
there you go. They had to. Crease had to
that
handle.
Seems familiar. That seems familiar when someone takes a sidekick to the stomach. Just saying.
Crease was defending himself in that situation. So
okay, Joe, you on my side. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Crease didn't even throw the first punch. He interjected himself into the thing. But I mean, to me, is what it is.
So we see from there. John Crease decides to go to the Army. And eventually he's doing good. I mean, he's doing some crazy ass things in the Army, and he gets assigned to be part of the Special Forces team. And
he's like G.I. Joe.
He gets two of his friends with him, and we see his instructor. I can't remember the rank of this officer. Was he a lieutenant or a captain? I can't remember.
I thought he was
a captain.
I thought he was captain.
Okay,
yeah.
that guy he was really an asshole, for real.
Yeah,
They had a mission, and one of the objectives was to blow up the enemy's base. One of the guys who everyone assumed was going to be Terry Silver. Go ahead, Bugs. Go ahead.
Wind that back. What happened before the mission, though?
I don't know. Go ahead.
What the letter?
No, about his mom.
No, it wasn't about his mom. It was potentially about the girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but what did he? If we're gonna, because that plays a big part into because he says some certain words that I think that's what sparks Crease's next movement of the way he is now moving forward.
That didn't happen until they got ready to fight.
No, I know, but I'm saying like the letter came first, then the mission came after. But the letter is important though.
Yes, I was going to get to that.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. By all means, go ahead.
No problem. So they get ready to go on this mission. This letter comes in, like Bugs just said. Okay, so later on, the captain tells Crease, "You don't have nothing to go home to. That girlfriend of yours, she's dead. She was killed in a car accident, right?" I don't think that was the truth.
I don't think so either. I think she broke up with him.
I don't think she broke up with him. I think she probably was saying,
or maybe she said she was pregnant.
That's what I think. That's what I think.
Oh.
Yeah, because he said he doesn't want this to affect him when he goes on this mission or something, right? Yeah.
But also,
because it'll make him think twice.
The letter came in a pink envelope. If somebody's dead, I don't think that you would send just. I think it would be a regular white envelope. Like I don't think.
I didn't even know it was pink. I couldn't tell.
I don't think you would send a letter like that about someone passing away in a pink envelope.
True.
I mean, I guess I don't.
So we'll see. I think we'll find out. I think eventually we'll find out.
We will. Yeah.
But anyway, they go on this mission, and the guy everyone assumed was Terry Silver was supposed to lay a bomb next to the enemy's base, and Kreese was supposed to blow it up. But Ponytail, as they called him, was taking too long to come back, and they ended up getting ambushed by the enemy. So then they all get captured. Even Ponytail, they end up bringing him back, and he shot in the head and killed right in front of everybody. That had to have been something that was traumatic. I couldn't imagine just being around you guys and somebody pops one of you guys, and I had to sit here. There's nothing I can do but just.
Oh yeah, no,
that's crazy.
That would mess me up.
Yeah, and I think everything that went on in this Vietnam messed up Kreese's head.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, especially when we see about what ended up happening.
Well, it definitely hardened him and made him, the way he is.
Between that and the possible thought of his girlfriend dying.
Being dead. Yeah, being dead.
Yeah, man. It's just no telling what could have led to him having these mental problems that he obviously has.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. So John Kreese kicks out Johnny out of Cobra Kai, but then he wants Johnny to come back to Cobra Kai. I didn't get that either.
He has a soft spot for him. That was his number one student. He got a soft spot for him.
I think he thinks he knows Cobra Kai is better with Johnny than without Johnny.
Oh, good. Yep, that's a very good point also.
Okay, so Joe, you were getting ready to say something about Daniel's business, and you were wondering if the effects of the fight in season 2 should have really affected his business like that.
Yeah, I really don't think something like that should have affected, his sales and his business as bad as it really did. I mean, to put it all on Miyagi-Do and all on Daniel like that, to me, like for a whole community just to shut you down like that, it just seemed a little crazy in my eyes.
So his dealership is starting to lose business. They're losing money. And it looks like one of the car companies that I don't know what they were. I don't know if they were distributor, if they distributed the Japanese cars to them or what. I don't know.
It was their biggest selling car, basically, more or less.
Well, they were pulling out and they were only going to Tom Cole. Tom Cole's come to them and he wants to buy LaRusso Auto. Now, he doesn't know that Daniel doesn't know that he's actually being set up. Tom Cole is trying to set him up. And the news tells him what's going on, that they're about to lose. If they don't sell, they're going to lose the business because this auto distributor is going to pull out of doing business with them and only be assigned exclusively to Tom Cole. So when the news tells him this, he decides that he's going to go to Japan to do a presentation and talk to them. It doesn't work. They apologize for him coming all that way, but they are still going to do business with Tom Cole. And he is upset. He is devastated. And he decides to go to Okinawa. Okinawa was different than what he was expecting. What did you guys think of Okinawa?
Shit, I feel like those people should have left after the second movie. We saw where it ended up happening. The damn Red Lobster. The fuck? Jesus, you waited all that time for a Red Lobster to get built. Come on,
man. That's what happens. These places they slowly get overrun by e-commerce, and they become more Americanized, I guess is the best way to put it.
I was really upset. Like when I saw that, you don't understand how mad I was, because I was like, you waited all that time, almost 30 years for this just to be a Red Lobster? Like, Jesus, I was upset. I honestly was.
So times are changing.
And Daniel runs into Kumiko when he's there.
He's sly dog.
Now he says he hadn't seen her in about 30 years. So that's funny that he just stayed out of contact with her this whole time.
She moved on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, I mean, because she wanted to be a dancer. That's why she did not return to the States. But I would have thought that they would have been pen pals or something. And
pen pals, yeah, yes,
one way or another.
Yeah, I thought they would have stayed. I thought they would have, especially since Yukie and Mr. Miyagi stayed in contact with each other all of this time. I just thought that Daniel would have done the same thing, but he hadn't. And she
what are they supposed to do? Mail pictures to each other? I ain't trying to do that.
Stay in contact. I mean, obviously that's what Mr. Miyagi was doing because Mr. Miyagi, Kumike, she shows Daniel all of these letters that Mr. Miyagi had sent to Yukie. And he was telling her about his life and about Daniel and about Sam. And, even right before he died, he still sent her a letter.
Well, maybe she's got a picture of Daniel of her feet. You don't know. You don't know what he's into.
Wait. Now you got Daniel having a foot fetish?
See, it wasn't me. That was Bugs. That wasn't me.
Listen. I feel like Daniel be into some things with toenails. I don't know.
So, but while he was there,
did you say?
You like that? You like that?
Just a visual to me. I can't even get over it right now.
I told you.
I told you. I got you with that one. I got you with that one.
Oh God, I can't even.
That's that Miyagi-Do training. Anyway, why don't we talk about some Miyagi-Do training? Because while he was there, Yukie's, I'm sorry, not Yukie,
Chosen.
She Chosen to meet up with them. I had to laugh when that happened because he was, when they had lunch or whatever, he was just sitting there, no expression on his face. Looked like he wanted to just get up and slap Daniel. Daniel didn't know what was going on or what was about to happen. But Kumiko, she did that because she wanted them to squash any beefs that had been around. And she wanted them to spend a day together and get to know each other. The adult versions of each other and not the kid. Because they, you grow. You're not the same person that you were as a kid. We saw both of them, how they matured and grow. And they got to spar. I like seeing them fight against each other.
I did too.
That was pretty cool. It was like, to me, it was like, man, they just kept it going because they started off, they were inside and then they were outside, like on a platform, sparring with each other. And then Chosen, when Chosen did this technique, and it made Daniel unable to use his limbs. When I saw that, I said, okay, this is going to come up later on in the season. Daniel is going to do this.
Tell me this real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay, before season 3 was coming out, there was all over the internet advertised. There's just going to be this big secret that Miyagi's been keeping from Daniel, and they did such a good job about advertising that. Mm-hmm. But then when it was revealed, it was like, that's it. Mm-hmm. That's how I felt. I was like, did Miyagi have a secret child? Or like I was expecting something much bigger than, Miyagi-Do has some offense.
I didn't. And because like, if you know the character of Mr. Miyagi, you knew they weren't going to have him. They weren't going to do nothing outrageous with Mr. Miyagi. I think I just knew it was going to be something. I didn't know what the secret was going to be. I thought maybe he had, saved up a bunch of money and, he just, had a bunch of money in an account somewhere. But I didn't think it was going to be anything like a kid or Chosen was really his son. That's one of the things I saw. They were saying that Chosen was going to be the son who supposedly had died while he was while his wife was giving birth or whatever. I didn't believe any of that. Like I said, I thought it might have been some money or he had a property somewhere that Daniel didn't know about it. But I didn't think it was going to be this technique either.
Yeah,
I thought they were going to say he never actually died.
He was just hiding out in Okinawa, huh?
Oh,
I really Daniel, you found me. I got to deal with your wife.
I really thought that's what it
was. Daniel said I was just hiding.
I actually thought that's what it was gonna be.
Still trying to catch flies with my chopsticks.
So you thought they was going to CGI Mr. Miyagi in? Angel? Like, wait a minute. Like, he looks a little different. Like, his mouth ain't moving right.
Yo, I thought they were. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really thought they were gonna have a pop up, and they're just gonna get like a really older man and be like, oh, he's on his like last dying wish, but he hit away.
But that would have just sucked. That would have just sucked.
Yeah, that would have been terrible.
We did.
But we did see Chosen and Daniel get some closure. It was hilarious when Chosen did the honk when he got down and honked Daniel's nose. That was funny too. I knew what he was going to do when I knew he wasn't going to kill Daniel, you know. But when he hit those nerves and Daniel was just sitting there limp, I just knew. I said, okay, he's about to honk his nose. He is no way he's going to kill him or hit him with nothing, you know. But they reconciled, and he gave him. He took him to a dojo, and there were a bunch of different artifacts from the Miyagi family history in this dojo, and he gave Daniel one of the scrolls that were in there. I don't know what technique that could have been. It could have been the one that he just did on him.
I think that's what they said it was. They
never really said, because if you remember that. When that happened, the scroll that Daniel had in the dojo was about the crane. And he went to go pick up another one, and Chosen took it away. It was like, you don't need this. And that's when they got talking and like, oh, we're like karate cousins or whatever. And then that's when they started sparring after that. And then he did the technique on him. But but I don't know if that was, it could have been, that could have been it, or it could have been something else that we will see in season 4. Who knows? Let's move on. So Daniel runs into I most definitely don't remember this little girl's name, but she was the girl in the Karate Kid 2 that was ringing the bell when the storm hit.
The one that Daniel saved, yeah.
Right. So she was now the vice president of Daniel's distributor. What was it called? Dynamics International or Dynatronics International, whatever the name of this place was. She was senior vice president of this of sales, and she told Daniel, like, I'm about to save your company. Talk about a stroke of luck for him and his business.
She kind of owed him.
Yeah. Thank God he saved her life.
Yeah. I still don't understand why. Like,
I know you're about to say it. I know.
Why would they send a little kid up there?
It was meant to be. It was meant to be. They had to put her out there in the storm.
They do things different in Japan, okay?
It was a sacrifice. Just let it.
So he saves. He ends up saving his business. Miguel and Johnny. Miguel comes out of the coma, and Johnny starts talking to him. And Miguel kinds of yells at Johnny because he was frustrated with the situation. But Johnny comes back and talks to Miguel, and Miguel starts to listen to him, and Johnny's going to help. Johnny's going to help Miguel learn to walk. He wants to help.
I thought that was so much bullshit.
Why?
I mean, he's not a medical professional. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, but he's the one who inspires him.
I know.
You need to be
inspired. I know where we're going with this. But if we're gonna look at it from like a realistic standpoint, like, come on, man. Like, you're having this damn kid fall on the floor. Like, he may not even be able to get back up. Like, come on.
Miguel still had a physical therapist who would come by and help him also.
I know, but still.
But to me, I was able to suspend, my imagination for this only because, reality. I was able to suspend reality for this because Miguel fell from the second story of a school, and he's back and alive within a couple of days. Obviously,
yeah.
He should have been really messed up. He should have really, really been messed up, and he should have been in that bed in the hospital for months. He shouldn't have been out, so fast anyway. So I was able to suspend disbelief for a little bit, So
that's fine.
That didn't really bother me too much, Angel.
Yeah,
but I get what you're saying though.
Yeah.
So Johnny starts to help him with his rehab. His mom looked like she really wasn't having it at first, but she knew that Miguel wanted Johnny to be a part of his rehab. What did you guys think?
Didn't the grandma say something like, basically he needs Johnny to get through this or something like that? Didn't the grandma?
I don't know.
I thought the grandma kind of persuaded some of that a little bit.
I know the grandma spoke to Johnny because before the surgery happened, Johnny was there and he gave the money to the doctors and he was getting ready to leave, and the grandma spoke to him and wanted him to stay.
Because she realized that he was the motivation behind Miguel pushing forward.
Honestly, if I was Johnny, I would have left. I would have said, you know what, I got to come back. Because he missed an appointment to see his son. Yeah,
that part, that messed me up because that could have been crucial.
Yeah, and actually it was crucial because, I don't know, with Robbie, like we see Robbie being a hard ass and acting like he doesn't need Johnny. But then we also get a glimpse of him really, it's like he's really wanting Johnny to like yell at him the way that he yelled at Miguel. It kind of seems like that. Because he wasn't taking any calls from Daniel. He wasn't really responding to the emails from Amanda or Samantha. But when he found out Johnny was coming to see him, we could see that he was a little bit happy that his dad was coming to see him.
I think he's always just wanted his dad to step up. And he thought that this was the moment, but he really messed it up.
Yeah. Now, did you see what do you guys think about the kids that was in the juvie with Robbie, like this the big kid? I don't know. I don't think they got names.
I don't remember their names. I just remember how they acted. I think they overacted that part. That's just
okay.
Me. In my personal opinion, I feel like they overacted it. And if I want to get, I know me and Travis can run off on this for a while, but I don't want to get into too crazy. I don't want to get into this like too much, but like I didn't like the dynamic of like what they try to portray in terms of like who was the bully and who was the victim. That's just me. I felt like the whole black and white thing, I feel like we didn't have to go down that road, but that's just me. I feel like they tried to make it look like he was a white boy getting picked on. I'm just like, come on, man.
You don't think it was just that guy was the one ruling the place and he just saw someone new?
No, I got you, but why do you always have to have like a gang? Like what? Like what?
I've been seeing rumors that kid might be back in season 4.
Well, I hope he gets a more expanded role because all I saw was him being an asshole. So I just want to see. I want to see what his.
They had an understanding when neither of them outed each other. Yeah. Neither one of them would snitch.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
And so they might be boys for all we know after he gets out. Because once Robbie gets out and quote unquote joins Cobra Kai, maybe he's going to bring that dude in as like his other guy
as more muscle.
That's what the rumor is. And
who's more Cobra Kai than a prison bully? I'm just saying.
That kid doesn't look like he needs to be up under John Kreese.
Oh, that guy is huge. Of course, John Kreese would make a monster out of him.
Yeah.
You're right.
So Robbie does go to Kreese. Like, Daniel and Johnny go to pick him up when he is released from juvie. But he doesn't want to have anything to do with them. He walks away. He leaves. We don't even know where he goes. I was like, man, was he just sleeping outside somewhere or?
Probably. I mean, that man stole a broken down van and was just doing his own thing. He don't care.
Yeah, and but he eventually goes to John Kreese, and Kreese lets him stay in the Cobra Kai dojo. And Hawk wasn't having it. He wasn't happy with that. Tori was okay with it. She feels like Miguel and Sam are working together, and I don't know, man.
They basically almost.
She was upset. Tori was upset that those two were the only ones who ended up getting any type of time, like juvie time. Because she even said, like, how come we're the only two here? She started the fight, and Robbie ended the fight. And they're the only two that got in any serious trouble.
Yeah, I don't agree with any of that, to be honest with you.
You think everybody should have gotten in trouble?
I think nobody should have been in jail. Maybe some community service. You can't predict when it's a fight like that. You can't predict the way things are going to go. Just because, yes, somebody got hurt or AKA could have been killed. You know, if they weren't up that high, it would have just been someone falling on the ground and it would have been fine. He didn't intentionally throw him over the rail.
Yeah, he didn't kick
That's what
him
I'm saying.
saying I'm gonna kick you to fall to your death. He threw the kick just to throw the kick. So I can see that point, yeah.
That's all I'm saying. If you threw him over the rail, yes, you should go to jail. Your intention was to bodily, but his intention was never to hurt him that bad.
Well, he didn't stay in juvie long at all. You know, Daniel worked it out with the prosecutor that if he turned himself in, then he would get less time. And it kind of looks like that's how things worked out for him. Because obviously, you know, he wasn't in there for any – I mean, he was only there for a couple of weeks, it seemed like.
You don't know what kind of timeline it is in shows.
It's jail, man. In jail, you don't know.
I'm saying in TV time is different.
You don't know when days end. You don't know when days start.
We kind of do because at the beginning of the episode, at the end of the last season, and the beginning of this one is September because they're just going back to school. Yep. And the last episode is right before Christmas. So we know it's between September and December. So all of this happened within that time. Like that's what I'm saying about Miguel. Like Miguel got out and started walking around all within a couple of weeks. Like that, you know, I just had to suspend my disbelief for a little bit for that, you know. So
that says, he just cracked a couple of vertebrae. He's good to go.
Yeah, let's go to the end. Let's go to the end because we're running up against time right now. So we get to the end. Now Allie comes to town. Daniel and Allie go out and they have a good time and they're enjoying themselves. Allie invites Johnny to a Christmas party.
She's a trick, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Like I really don't like her. Like she has so many backward meaning behind things. And you guys saw her face at the end when they at the end of that episode with her. She got something up her sleeve. Season 4 is about to get crazy. I don't trust her.
I don't know if she'll be back for season 4. Like it seemed
I
like
don't trust her, bro.
It seemed like they came to a conclusion with her arc. Like there's no reason really to bring her back. Like why? Why?
I feel like she's gonna have something planned for Daniel and Johnny. Like you just, I don't know about you. I just get that feeling, man. She
didn't think so. She's done.
Yeah, I didn't really get that.
Get that trick out of here, bro.
I didn't really get that because, you know, she had her closure with Daniel and she had closure with Johnny. And Johnny even hugged her and said, you know, thank you. I needed this today, you know.
I don't think she should have had anything to say to Daniel. I think his wife should have been like, yeah, what?
I mean, Amanda seems like a cool
girl. She is, but Amanda don't have nothing to worry about. Amanda looked great. Allie looked old and busted.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. The age that hit her, god damn. I was telling my brother, I said it looked like they threw 30 years on her. Not even makeup could save that face. That looked so sad.
She looked better. She looked better in this though than she did on The Boys. On The Boys, they made her look a little more busted, but she looked better in this one. They made her look a little more wholesome.
Well, it looked like they had a good time at the Christmas party. They're all sitting around talking.
Yeah, you just try to move past that. Man. She looked so crazy. It was terrible.
And meanwhile, the kids were having a fight at the house.
So let me tell y'all really quick because it's about the fight. At Pro Point, I met two of the people that were in the fight. Fight scene.
Were they stunt doubles or were they actually two of the kids?
They were actually fighting. So It was Justin Ortiz, which we did an interview with him on Inside Scoop. And then the other guy, I couldn't remember his name. He was the one that stole the van in Cobra Kai. So I got to meet those guys this weekend. Okay. I chopped it up with them. It was real cool. Justin, you see him in that fight scene. I think he's wearing a yellow windbreaker. He was just throwing people all around. That was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the fight?
I think if you show up at my house to start stuff like that, it's going down and it's over. Like that's crazy to me to think you're just gonna. I mean, they threw someone through a window.
Yeah, they threw Bert through the window.
That's what I'm saying. Like
they threw Bert through the window.
I had a huge issue with that. Like they really that's war, man. I'm sorry, that's war.
I wonder how come Robbie wasn't there.
Robbie was with Kreese training.
Yeah, but why wasn't he there with the kids? Like, I mean, they had already bonded.
Because Kreese wanted to catch him up. Kreese is making Robbie his own personal project. He wanted Robbie back when Johnny was still with Cobra Kai. Remember, he said, it's wrong that your son is training with the enemy. Yes. He was straight up. So now that he has Robbie, he's as happy as ever. He's got all kinds of plans for that. You know that for a fact. Yeah,
I just thought, the first time I saw it, I just assumed Robbie was there with him. It wasn't until the second time that I saw it, I said, oh, no, Robbie's not there at the fight. But everybody else, that's another thing, man. Like these fights, like I tell my students all the time, because sometimes they be complaining that they're tired, right? And I tell them, okay, it's good to be tired in here with me and not tired if you're in a tournament or if you ever have to defend yourself. So it's okay to be tired here. But in this TV show, they don't get tired at all. Like that was a long ass fight that they had,
Yes.
And I don't know. That's one thing to me about Cobra Kai. The only thing I got an issue with is some of the karate, some of the martial arts that they put in. It seems like it's just too advanced for where these kids should be at. Like,
listen, man, that's Karate Kid. That's Cobra Kai. That's just how it is.
Yeah,
listen, man. These kids don't even.
The only thing that I have an issue.
Man.
Listen, Daniel earned a stolen black belt within 2 months, okay?
Daniel's not even a real black belt, man. Don't you start.
So they have this fight, man, and they tear up the LaRusso's house. Everybody's fighting in every single direction, everywhere. And that's when, Sam sees Tori and she books. She just makes a beeline to another room. Tori follows her. They fight with weapons. Okay,
Okay, but what the one thing that Tori or that Sam had to remember, because her dad had a talk with her about this and went back to Karate Kid 3 talking about when he was scared to fight Mike Barnes. So she had that in the back of her mind, and that's when she finally got over that fear, was listening to her dad's words.
Go ahead, Books.
So actually, I want to do a quick little connection with that. Leading up to my fight this past weekend, I was super nervous, right? Because it's my first time in a whole new setting, my first professional fight. I knew all the lights were going to be on me. It's the biggest stage I've ever been on. So I was super nervous. And I ended up seeing a video on my stream that day before I went out there, before I went and competed. And it was the Karate Kid 3 video. And it's when Miyagi runs up and tells Daniel it's okay to lose to the opponent, but it's never okay to lose to fear. And looking at that, man, I'm going to tell y'all, I know I said this to you guys before, but the Karate Kid, man, that's such a just that quote right there. That was one of the most, to me, one of the most famous quotes. And you get to see how it plays a part in this part and in this season. And I personally, man, I feel like Sam, I feel like Sam needs to get a little tougher. I feel like she needs to get a little tougher. I feel like Daniel needs to do a better job at toughening them up. I feel like he's a little too.
Well, now they got Johnny.
Yeah, they got Johnny now.
So.
Oh yeah. Now they got that Eagle Karate, whatever.
Yeah, Eagle Fang. Eagle Fang Karate. That's right. So Johnny, before we end the podcast, Johnny decides to create his own dojo. He tries to find a location for it. He can't afford any location. So he ends up teaching in a park.
He said, this is the best location. It's free. We don't got to worry about it. It's nice air.
Gene knows about that.
That's right. That was me last summer. When COVID hit, I was not able to go into my building that I teach at. So I had to find some place to teach my students. And this is before I started doing Zoom. So, I found a park and I was like, and I don't have to, I was literally the same way. I did not know I can just pull up to a park and just start teaching karate for free. My mom was like, for real? No, my mom and my girl, both of them, Queen Crystals, they were like, you can teach for free. I was like, I don't got to pay nobody. I don't got to reach out to the city. It was like, no.
You're like, no permit, no nothing.
That was me exactly, 100%. And they were like, no, you can teach there. I'm like, cool. I told all my students, meet me at the park. We're going to start having classes at the park. Start having 2 classes.
Hey, Hey,
twice
but on
a
the
day.
real though, the marketing behind that is amazing. So you got that right.
What do you guys think of Hawk switching sides?
I loved it. I felt like you could see. I felt like you could see where this was all going to start. From the beginning of the season, you knew what direction it was going to come to, and leading with Hawk switching over, I think it was amazing because I feel like that's a good fit for everybody. Which then plays into why I think the kids at the juvie center are definitely going to come in to combat that because now Kreese is losing not his best student, but his good students and his students all together. And then let's talk about just right before we end. Yo, how is it that two people are getting their ass beat by Kreese? How bad is this man? Like this is ridiculous, man.
Don't mess with the Army vet.
Yeah,
he is out here beating two people at once like it ain't nothing.
Yeah, so he beat up Armand, who is the landlord. He beat up him and his nephews because Amanda and Daniel sent them over there to evict him, and he beat them up. Was like, I'm not leaving. And then he beat up. Well, he really didn't beat up Daniel. He beat up. He kind of. Now I'm not really gonna say he beat up Johnny. No, he hit Johnny when Johnny's back was turned. He hit him in the back of the head with a side. Because Johnny was beating him up at first, and then Johnny turned around. He accidentally knocked Robbie into the locker, and he went to go look after Robbie. Is when Kreese came up behind him and hit him in the back of the head with a side, and then he was getting ready to choke Johnny out. Daniel shows up, and then Daniel and Kreese fight each other, and then Daniel uses the move that Chosen taught him to disable him. He couldn't move his arms or legs, and then it looked like Daniel was thinking like, I got to kill this guy. And he looks at Johnny, and Johnny gives him like, "Go ahead, do it." This guy is too dangerous to be here. He got to go.
Johnny was like, "I'm not gonna snitch you out. I got you on this one. We're together."
Yeah. And Sam and Miguel show up, and they tell Daniel not to do it. And then that's when Kreese gets up. And Daniel thinks about it, and they decide that they're going to settle this war at the All Valley.
I hate that.
And the deal was, if Kreese loses, he has to leave. He's going to be gone. And Kreese got ready to say what he wants if they lose, but he didn't get a chance to. Johnny jumped in and said, "We won't lose." So we don't even know what Kreese has planned for them. So I hope we don't find out.
I know, right?
He might say, okay, well, Johnny, you have to come back. If you lose, you got to come back to Cobra Kai. Daniel, you're done teaching. If that happened in season 4, that would make a very interesting season 5.
I think all right, let's do it right before we end. You know what? Nah, we're not gonna do this. We're gonna save it for the post show.
So then we see at the very, very end, we see Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do coming together. They have the Miyagi-Do dojo, and they are all going to work out together and get ready for the All Valley. And that is how season 3 ended. All right, Boogs. All right. So what did you guys think? Like, I like this season,
I loved it.
It wasn't my favorite, though. I think I like season 2 the best. Out of all of the seasons.
I think you just like the 2 of everything. I think that's just what you do.
No, I like season.
So he liked 3 in the first one.
I like Karate Kid Part 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like 2. I like season 1 the best still.
You like season 1 the best? Okay,
so
1, 2, 3. Okay.
I actually love this season. I thought it was the best. I like the backstories. It was really good.
I love the backstory.
The backstories for me. I think the backstories for me rounded out a bunch of stuff that I thought about. So now when we go into season 4, I'm like going into season 4, like I know everything I need to know. I just want to focus on what's happening next. Sometimes you watch the show, you're like, what happened in the past? But what happened when this happened? And then you're learning about what's going on now. Now it's none of that. Now it's just from here. Let's just move forward. So I love that aspect of it.
So we're going to wrap it up right there. So next week, we are done with Cobra Kai. We're done with the Karate Kid. So we're going to start our video game movies next. And we're going to start this one off with Double Dragon next week. We are going to review Double Dragon. I'm going to be honest with you. I have not seen this movie since it came out back in the day. And the only thing I really remember about the movie is I was not happy with it. So let's see how I feel about it when I was as an adult. I don't know, man. That was a game that I liked growing up as a kid. Like I remember when that game came out. Like that was one of the hot games at that time.
Yep.
And I remember really, really liking that game. But when the movie came out, it just wasn't. I just really didn't get into it like how I wanted to get into it. I thought it should have been better. So who knows? I don't know. I'm an adult now. I have not seen this movie since I was a kid. So I might like it more than I did back then, or I might hate it even more. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. What about you guys?
I've never seen Double Dragon. I don't even know what the video game is. So you guys gotta help me out.
Oh man, Double Dragon was like one of the first fighting games that everybody went crazy for. Like it was before Mortal Kombat, and you really didn't even fight each other. Like it was like
you just fought. Like you fought like those games like that. You like move up and down, and you just
just move forward.
Yeah,
just punch and kick people.
But it was just a fighting game that everybody went crazy over. You know, in the late '80s, early '90s. You know, it was a fun game.
Was it before Street Fighter?
I think it came out right before Street Fighter.
Okay. I think Street Fighter was 96.
No, I think
Street Fighter was not 96. No.
Street. We talking about the game.
I'm talking about the game.
Not.
I'm thinking of the movie because the movie's 94.
The movie I think with Van Damme was like 94, 95, right? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. 94, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but I think the game for Double Dragon and Street Fighter, I think they were like in the late 80s, early 90s, around that time.
Okay.
I remember playing them on Nintendo. Yep. The first Nintendo. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. Next week, make sure you guys listen, check us out. Like I said, we're gonna be discussing Double Dragon. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Remember, we need 250 people to subscribe so we can have our Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with drinks. Watch along. That's gonna be fun.
With water.
You guys got any closing remarks?
Make sure you guys check out the post show. When you guys hear this, go back to the previous day. Check out our post show. We're gonna have a good little discussion on there, and then make sure you guys follow everything else Main Gang related. And yeah,
that's right. And also make sure you guys check out Inside Scoop tomorrow, and make sure you guys go back and check out CTE, which dropped on Tuesday. Joe, you got any closing remarks?
No, man, I'm good. Let's go.
All right, everybody, stay safe, stay strong. Director, play my music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.